Are you tired of filling out intake forms for new healthcare practitioners? Me too. So I created an onboarding doc for my docs. I use this when meeting with new healthcare practitioners like a naturopath. So in this video, I will share with you all the things to include in a simple Google Doc that you can share ahead of time before your first initial appointment with a new healthcare practitioner. If we haven't had the chance to meet yet, my name is Robin Pino. I started this YouTube channel so that I could share how I live well with multiple sclerosis, or MS. I was diagnosed almost 10 years ago now, and I want to share tips and tricks for living well with an autoimmune sidekick. I also share videos around essential oils, healthy habits, and being a twin mom. So this video is part of my MS series, and you can find it within that playlist. Here are all the things that I like to include in an onboarding doc for your docs. The first one is your health objectives. What is the reason that you're going to see them, and what are the things that you want to work on? I would distill it down to at least 3 things. You might have a long list, but you need to distill it down by practitioner. So you need to know what you're going to see someone for, what their specialty is. And I wouldn't put a health objective on an onboarding doc for an acupuncturist if that's not their specialty and they have no idea. So I wouldn't go to them for something to do with hormones, as an example. The next thing that I would include, and this is specifically for, let's say, going to see a new naturopath, would be a link to all of your previous blood work. And you can decide how far back you want to go. At least a year or 2 would be a great reference point for them. Number 3, and this is good for either a naturopath or, let's say, a nutritionist or a dietitian, but putting together a meal plan example. You could do a simple day of, or maybe at least 2 to 3 days. Number 4, this is definitely for a naturopath practitioner, would be a list of supplements, the dosage that you're taking, and the reason why. So what I like to do is I actually put the name of the supplement, and then I'll link out to the actual product page of that supplement's producer. I will list how many capsules I'm taking. Sometimes I'll go and actually grab the bottles and then list out like the milligrams or grams that I'm taking, and then the reason why. So I'm showing them that I understand why I'm taking that supplement, i.e. I'm taking vitamin D because I have a vitamin D deficiency. I'm taking Alcar for cognitive function, things like that. I will actually put down also a list of my self-care routines, and this could be for anyone. Let's say a naturopath might ask this, or an acupuncturist might ask this, to see if you are actually managing your stress properly. So what do you do in your morning routine and your evening routine? That could be self-care. And then last but not least, I like to actually include a list of questions that I'd like answered. So I'm sharing this doc with a practitioner ahead of time. They can kind of see what I'm coming into the appointment for. And then I also have a copy of this doc on my phone. So as I'm going through the appointment, I can pull up that list of questions and we can actually walk through them during an appointment. If you are enjoying this video, I would appreciate if you could give it a thumbs up so that more people who are looking for information around how to thrive living with an autoimmune disease might be able to find this channel. While you're at it, would you please subscribe? That would mean the world to me. Okay, so how do you actually use an onboarding doc for your docs? Usually when you book an appointment, let's say you're booking it online through a system, a lot of my practitioners use the Jane app. There's always a section for intake forms. And what I would do is I would start to fill it out if you need to put like your name, address, etc. And then there's usually a line, and I would actually put a link to the Google Doc. So I would make sure that it has sharing privileges, or I would call the clinic ahead of time and say, I am sharing an onboarding doc with the practitioner. What is their email address so that I can add them as view only or comment only onto the doc, and then share it ahead of time. In the past, what I've done is I've actually put the link to the Google Doc in an intake form, but I have found that a lot of practitioners won't actually read your form until the day of your appointment or even during your appointment. So they haven't had the chance to actually review the doc that you've made ahead of time. So I would call the clinic ahead of time, let them know that you're sharing, ask for their email address, and make sure that the practitioner practitioner knows that you would like them to review this document ahead of time so that they have a thorough history of your case. Because sometimes I go to see them for several issues and my case can be deemed as quite complicated. That's why I prioritize. So sometimes I've gone to see practitioners because I'm dealing with liver health. I'm also dealing with hormonal health. And then I'm also trying to maintain or decrease the inflammation in my body. So there's several things that I'm working on, and I'm trying to get really focused on what is my most major pain point that I'm trying to solve at this time, and then be able to provide them with the information that they need to look at my case and then provide me with the right protocol in terms of what I might need to do to address it. So that's why I say it's really important to talk to people ahead of time to make sure that they take a look at this document that you're creating. Otherwise, you've just put a whole lot of work into a document and you're going to get to an appointment. They're not going to take a look at it, and it's going to be very frustrating because you've put a lot of work into it. So make sure you communicate properly that you're creating this for your practitioner and that you'd like them to take a look. If you like this video, then you might like my video on how I decided to take care of myself after my multiple sclerosis or MS diagnosis 10 years ago now. I share in that video all of the different types of healthcare practitioners that I actually have gone to see to support my overall health and the reasons why I go to see them for different things. So if that's of interest, I will link the video in the end screen so you can click through and watch that next. Thanks for being here. I release a new video every Tuesday. I appreciate you watching, and we'll see you in the next one.